Time to talk some fantasy football with our friend KC Joyner, footballscientist.com. He's also from The Athletic. You can follow along his Thursday night football blog tonight during the Patriots-Bills game. And I remind you that all guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Casey, let's start with a text. Gabe Davis or Cortland Sutton says PPR league projected to lose by 4 points. Go for the swing or the safe floor?
Oh, that is a tough call. I'm not expecting Davis to do that much tonight, but I'll say this. The Patriots have won all their games. They've allowed fewer than 20 points and have lost all the games they allow 20 or more. So I think the Bills are going to be swinging the fences. You know what? In that kind of a situation, I'm probably going Davis. You might get the floor, but you got to play for the ceiling. You can't trust something.
All right, let's go to the text line again, 916-339-1140. If you have a fantasy football question, who should I start at wide receiver, Juju or Valdes-Scantling?
I would probably, again, similar to the first question, I would probably go Juju in most cases. If you're needing an upside play, if you've got to get the big points, go for Valdes-Scantling because he is the vertical threat. Juju is a bit banged up, and they've got some other targets they can go to, but I still see him as being a high floor guy. So percentage play there, but go for the home run if you need. If you go MBS, you need a home run.
KC Joyner is with us again. If you have a fantasy football question, we're getting close to playoff time. Hit us up, 916-339-1140 is the text line. Of course, you can always get us on YouTube, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Let's go to YouTube. Question from Brad. KC, who do we play at captain spot tonight on DraftKings? Josh Allen, or do you take a flyer?
Again, the Bills. Look, the Bills are what I think they're 8-1 if I remember correctly in games where they've scored more than 20 points, and they are 0-2 in games where they haven't scored 20 points. So the Bills know they need to get big points tonight. I think that they're going to try to press this thing and get into a kind of like what happened last week. The Patriots tried to get in the shootout and it didn't go well for them. I think the Bills did the same thing. I got to play Allen.
We stay on YouTube. Question from our friend Simone. Tight ends, Njoku or Jay Johnson?
Njoku or Jay Johnson? I'm going Njoku as long as the injury report doesn't change. I like his matchup there. Juwan Johnson, I like goose egg just last week. That scares me a lot. I dropped him down to 11 in my tight end charts because I just can't. At 0 points, that's a floor you can't live with.
Another text line, 916-339-1140. George Pickens or Gabe Davis? They say they're leaning towards Pickens.
Again, Pickens is a better percentage play. The Pittsburgh offense, look on Monday night, they were very consistent, they have big play offense, but he's a guy who can hit big plays. I think because he gets enough volume and because he does have the potential to hit a big play, I probably would play him over Davis because I didn't know if it's compared to Sutton. I like Pickens upside a lot more.
Another text question, Justin Fields or Derek Carr?
Fields was full practice today, and as long as if he does that tomorrow, I'm going Fields. Unless something comes up injury-wise that says that he's not going to be back out there, I definitely have to go with him. Even if he runs the ball a little bit less than he did, he's still a better play than Carr.
Fantasy football question, send it to KC Joyner right now. You can do that via text, 916-339-1140. You can also give us a phone call as well at 1-800-920-1140, and you can send us a chat, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Casey is on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Casey, I want to go back to Josh Allen for a minute. Obviously, he has a big history against the Patriots the last 2 games. But aside from the game tonight, looking forward, any concerns about his level of play falling off a bit?
Bills have been allowing a lot more pass rush of late. That's a problem for him. His passing production, if you look at his pass production, I wrote about this last week for The Athletic in my Fantasy Football Roundup article. And his passing production after his, I think it was the first 5 games of the year, he did fantastic, and it's been mediocre since, and in some cases bad. I am worried about it from that sense, but the Bills' defense is also not playing that well, which means that Buffalo is going to have to get into high-scoring games, which means they'll still fund things through Allen. Plus, as much as he runs the ball, I think, like I say, he might not finish number 1 in quarterback points this year, but I still think he has a couple of 20-point games left in him.
Let's say you have Tua Tagovailoa, KC. Do you play him even though he's going against the San Francisco defense?
Right now, I've got him ranked 11th on my charts, in part because he has only 31 matchup points, 100's a perfect score in that category, and it's a very difficult thing. I think they'll run the ball more. this week. They've got Mostert coming back, so I think they'll be very run heavy. Having said that, I think they're trying to some big plays against the 49ers defense because 49ers secondary is kind of banged up. But the quarterback ranks this week, by the way, it used to be just a couple weeks ago, there were only a few players that would be considered strong starters. 2 as the 11th of 11 strong starters this week. So like him, but just not that much.
KC Joyner with us, footballscientist.com, The Athletic. He does the Athletics blog tonight during Thursday Night Football if you want to check that out. Again, you can give us a call, 1-800-920-1140. Also text us at 916-339-1140. Or you can chat us, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Another one from YouTube, Stevenson or Singletary?
Stevenson or Singletary? I have got to go Stevenson because, as mentioned, the Buffalo run defense has not been anywhere near as good. Like Singletary, but like Stevenson more.
All right, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a minute. How do you handle him with the injuries and the unknown? Are you, if he plays, are you playing him or you're holding back?
He's, again, 2 injuries. We're talking the thumb and the rib,
yep.
So it's tough. And when I've got him rated as I do overall upside and downside grades on my weekly rankings for my paid subscribers, and he's got a green rated upside ranking, which is good, but he's yellow rated in his overall grade. Yellow rated just means you're just not quite a starter caliber. I love the matchup, and if I had to play, if I'm in a Superflex league and look for somebody who might have huge upside, I'd probably put Rodgers out there from that perspective, but it's just a starting quarterback in most leagues. Right now he's 14th in my quarterback charts. He's not quite a starter.
All right, let's go back to the text line, 916-339-1140. Lawrence or Cousins?
I am going Lawrence this week. I don't like Cousins matchup at all. Jets are powerhouse defense.
Ooh, Gabe Davis or Zay Jones?
Zay Jones, as good as he's done of late, I think it's 23 receptions over the past 3 weeks. He's done fantastic. I'm definitely going Zay Jones. He's got as much upside as Gabe Davis.
Again, KC Joyner with us. He's on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We stay on the text line. George Kittle or Conklin or Dulisic?
Oh, no.
Tight end gotcha, huh?
There's only 3 quality starters at tight end this week. 3 of the rest, and there's only 10 even. I mentioned yellow rated. Yellow rated is okay. If I have to start him, I will, like a bye week starter. There's only 10 tight ends even with that. Everybody else is either orange or red. It's just terrible at tight end this week. So Kittle ranks 6th despite the fact he's played awful. I got to go Kittle.
Let me see. Any guys that have played well, KC, that owners might feel really good about, but then you look at him and you say, maybe you should be a little bit more concerned with the playoff matchups they're going to have?
I'm thinking I say a couple of running backs I'm worried about are Alvin Kamara and Dameon Pierce. They've both not been playing well of late. They tried to make Kamara a bell cow. He's not. They do the same thing with Pierce. Pierce, look at this in college rushing. What do you have, like 8 games of 10 or more carries in college? He just has nothing. The guy's never been a bell cow, and Houston just said, we don't care. We'll keep giving him the ball. I think he's wore down this year, and so is Kamara. I think they're both going to not do quite as well down this stretch because on a related note, get Samaje Perine and even consider getting Tevin Coleman. I think Tevin Coleman could be somebody who could rotate into the roster for the Niners. And I do like Samaje Perine because I think the Bengals are not going to keep giving Mixon bell cow. They'll make that a lead alternate or platoon setup.
Well, as a Dameon Pierce owner, you just made me very upset. Last one for you, KC. Let's sneak in a defense question. Any sneaky defenses to stash as we do get closer to playoff time?
Sneaky defenses to stash. I think Seattle's defense is playing a whole lot better than people give them credit for. It'd be one I would consider. The Browns are playing better. The Dolphins don't play great well this week, but their defense is doing fairly well. I don't know. Most of the good defenses are really taken up right now, but those are defenses I would strongly consider rostering. A couple others. Man, I don't know. There's really not that many others. But the Steelers, by the way, I would say that the Steelers have been playing a lot better. I think their value is going to keep going up, and they're going to be a defense. They'll be a high floor defense at least.
KC, you're the man. We'll talk to you next week. We appreciate you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you. There goes KC Joyner, footballscientist.com.